Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's review is The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. Try and get that centered for you. I love the details with the wrought iron fencing, doorway, gate, however you want to call it. The cover is embossed and it's a little shiny. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to show you the shiny. So pretty. I've got the fancy one with the sprayed edges and they're absolutely gorgeous. Hi, Levi. And I take the sleeve off. The actual book is just as pretty with the library going on there. And on the inside, the cover is both the same. It's the same with her looking down over the city, and it's New York. That's the main city there. I'll put this back on, and I'll read you the little blurb. Back on. Can you love the dark when you know what it hides? Some things aren't supposed to exist outside of our imagination. 13 years ago, monsters emerged from the shadows and plunged Kierce's world into a cataclysmic war of near-total destruction. The New York City she knew so well collapsed practically overnight. In the wake of that carnage, the monster treaty was created, a truce of sorts. But tonight, Kierce, a gifted and fearless thief, will break that treaty. She'll enter the Holly Library, not knowing it's the home of a monster. He's charming, quietly alluring, terrifying. But he knows talent when he sees it. It's just a matter of finding her price. Now she's locked into a dangerous bargain with the creature unlike any other. She'll sacrifice her freedom. She'll offer her skills. Together they'll put their own futures at risk. But he's been playing a game across centuries, and once she joins in, there will be no escape. I actually kind of found that way more, sorry, my nose is like extremely itchy right now, way more vague than the actual story. I didn't even read the description. I just really wanted to read the book, and I got such a pretty one. I just wanted to read it. And at the back it says, there are legends in our world, tales of beasts and beauties, creatures and stories that would keep you up at night, of monsters born. All those stories you've heard come from a kernel of truth. So the whole book is written in third person, from Kierce's point of view. There are random chapters that they call interludes that are written in third person from one of the other characters' points of view. I think there's only 3 or 4 of them, I can't remember. The main characters are Kierce, Graves. Kierce is also the Wren in the Holly Library. Graves is the monster. Kierce's best friends, Genesis, who she calls Jen, and Ethan. Then her ex-girlfriend, Tora. Genesis's mom, Colette. The leader of the werewolves, Nate, who is their friend and ally. And then there's Lorcan. I didn't write down the last names. Lorcan is sort of the opposite of Graves. Like, he's the bad guy, but they're very morally gray. Dr. Maffei is sort of neutral. She just helps them with like sciencey medical stuff because it's a world of magic and real at the same time. Dr. Maffei is a witch. Then there's King Louis. He's not really a king. He's the main bad guy. He's a vampire and he's trying to get monsters to be on top instead of in a treaty where everyone lives together happily. And Walter was Graves' apprentice, and he ends up working for King Louis. I wouldn't really call him a bad guy, though. Everyone's more of a working for themselves kind of thing in this book. Everyone's looking out for themselves, and honestly, that's a lot how the real world works. So obviously it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, complete with the fancy library. and the people who love to read. I'm still a little worked up because I literally just finished the book like 5 minutes ago, and I came down and wrote down the characters and decided to do the review. It is book one of a series. She announced that there will be possibly at least 3 books in the series. So I will do those reviews when I get those books. It might be a while because she doesn't have a release date for them yet. I felt like the plot was fairly evenly paced. It's got its ups and downs, some slow spots, some high spots. It is a spicy book, 16 plus. There are only a couple of really spicy scenes, but still important to know that there is spice in it for if you're judging for your child to be reading it. It is not something you want them to read. It is definitely like the paranormal based in our world, but with magic. There are no dragons. Doesn't mean there won't be in the other books, though. But I doubt it. I don't think so. But the magic feels more intuitive and instinctive. Like it's not all flashy, like Harry Potter magic. It's subtle. I didn't really notice any serious plot holes. I did like the way the characters developed and grew and changed. I loved the chemistry between Pierce. That's how she tells us at the beginning of the book how to pronounce her name. She says it's Pierce, but with a K. Pierce. And Graves. How they grow from enemies to lovers. And how he's not... They make it like he's morally gray, but like it's not like he's the bad guy either. Like he's just, like I said, everyone's just sort of living their lives looking out for number one. The main idea of the story is kind of predictable, as in like there's the girl and the guy and they don't really get along, but then he needs her help with something and they slowly form a bond. And then they get that task done. There's minor betrayals. It definitely gave me emotions. There was happy moments. Not too many happy moments. Definitely some sad moments, some frustrating moments. No real tears. The end was very frustrating. So I felt like the end went really fast. She does not tell you completely everything, but you get enough. The main plot in this book is wrapped up. But it does end on a cliffhanger. The very last chapter is from Graves' point of view. And yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger. I was kind of hoping it would be standalone. I did not know there was a sequel. I had to look it up after to learn that there was a sequel. I'm like, there had better be a sequel because it can't end like this. And she's potentially going to write a third one. But if she's already got the second one started and she said that, there's probably going to be a third one. So I was unhappy. I was unhappy with how it ended, but I'm knowing that there's going to be a second one. I know the things that I didn't like about the ending will fix themselves in the next book. They had better. I'm assuming they will because, yeah. But it felt realistic the way it ended, people-wise. Like I said, and I'm feeling like I'm just repeating myself, but like literally everyone is looking out for themselves. The only one who doesn't is Pierce. Graves calls her Wren frequently, which I really adore. Wren looks out for her, but she's also looking out for her 2 best friends, Ethan and Jen. They're the only ones that matter to her besides herself. That's all she wants in life. But yeah, everyone else, and of course that changes with time. Like obviously Wren and Graves start to care about each other more than they care about themselves. But in the end, they're looking after, well, Wren specifically. I'm saying too much. I don't like spoiling the books. I like just talking about it. But yeah, I was frustrated and I was sitting there swearing and pouting And my husband Mike was like, well, what's wrong? And I'm like, do you actually want me to answer that? He's like, I can't remember exactly the question, but it was a yes or no question. And I look at him, I'm like, that is not a yes or no answer for me. I cannot just tell you yes or no. I need to tell you what happened. And despite knowing how I am, he still asks me these questions while he's sitting there playing his video game. Yes, we are that stereotypical couple. I did my best to rein it in and not go crazy on him. I am rambling now. I'm so sorry. 4 out of 5 stars. Only because I got frustrated with the cliffhanger at the end. Exceeded my expectations. Great writing. Sucked me in. The plot was engaging and different. And the characters were complex and relatable and have their own histories and backstories and emotional. I love parts, but there are parts that I didn't quite care for. And I'm hoping they'll get better in the next one. I may revisit it in the future, but I definitely highly recommend it. If you don't like a cliffhanger, you might want to wait for the second one to come out. I think it's called something about a Robin and the Oak Throne or something like that. A Robin and the Oak Throne, or the Oak, something like that. Robins and Oaks. Anyway, you might want to wait for that one to come out before you read this one, because I'm a little frustrated. But anyway, check it out. The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. I really enjoyed it. Wish I had the sequel right now. Thank you for watching that video. Please like and subscribe, and when the sequel comes out and I do the video, I'll put the links in the description box below. And I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day.